You're listening to the Spend 10K a Day podcast, brought to you by the performance marketing experts at Mute6. This is your source for cutting-edge insight into the world of online advertising from the team with more Facebook case studies than any other agency on the planet. Here are your hosts, Steve Wise and Stuart Anderson.
Welcome back to the Spend 10K a Day podcast. I'm Stuart Anderson. With me, as always, my good friend, Steve Weiss. We're talking about Facebook ads, our favorite topic. We actually have a big topic today. I'm sure everybody has heard Mark Zuckerberg's recent comments about big changes coming to Facebook. You're going to get to see a lot more of your friends and family's posts versus, brands, publishers, and, other Facebook page content. A lot of companies have been asking us about how this is going to change the game for advertisers. Steve, tell me what you think is going to happen as a result of these changes.
So number one, just to be perfectly clear, the changes are based to the algorithm. So the algorithm is the basis point of which specific post you see on your newsfeed. And then what I see on my newsfeed. Obviously, what I see on my newsfeed, what Stuart sees on the newsfeed are two totally different things. And what governs what we see on our newsfeed is the Facebook algorithm. Not the ad algorithm, but just the algorithm. Obviously, Facebook, their goal is to connect the world. They want to, Mark's passion, you could just tell from reading the press releases and reading all the, all his quotes, his earnings call. His goal, number one, is not to make money. He's, as much as everyone's like he wants to make money, that they're a publicly traded company. No, his goal is to connect people, and his goal is to figure out ways to enlighten connections between people, because that's, if you connect people and you have a platform for connections, for staying in touch, then you're going to increase engagement, and then the ads will come. But number one, this algorithm is to enhance connections between people. So what's going to happen is if you haven't seen already, you're going to start seeing more and more moments of people's lives, friends that you've never caught up with in a while. You're going to start seeing stuff populated to the top of your newsfeed that you haven't seen before. You might have seen someone from high school, someone from college, that you've never seen their actual posts. Mm-hmm. And the goal of Facebook and the goal that everyone sets out to is two things. Number one, obviously, enhance connections and connect the world. But number two, provide content specifically, whether that's ad content, whether that's any type of content that resonates with your interest and your prior habits that you use Facebook with. So I don't think it's going to have any negative impact from a paid marketing perspective. Yeah. I think that, obviously the very simplistic impact it's going to have is that if you are a page owner and you rely on influencers or you rely on creating organic content that resonates with a large audience, you're going to start seeing that your organic reach obviously go down and down and down and down and down, because Facebook's priority is not showing content from business owners, from publishers. That's not what people connect for. They're not on Facebook to see free publisher to see information from news as much as they are. They have the news trending on the side now. So literally, you're going to start seeing more stuff that pushes people into having closer connections with their friends and family.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that a lot of people have missed that, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm seeing this in some of the stuff that Facebook has put out about this. They actually specifically say, this isn't going to affect the ad side of things. This is about the organic side of our business. That's a pretty clear statement that, at least high level, this isn't going to directly affect, an advertiser's ability to reach its audience. Now, obviously, there could be follow-on effects. There could be, ripple effects from this change into the ad side. But I think it's good that they're making it clear that they're not changing things, at least algorithmically, on the advertising side.
Just from talking to people that I know at Facebook, they are making changes to the ad algorithm too. You can't gamify engagement. Yep. And I think that's the big thing now is connections used to be around engagement. Mm-hmm. They used to judge, are people connecting, are people, interacting based on engagement. And you can't use like this status if you agree. We used to run ads, 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh yeah, well that stuff's already changing too. That started changing before this even happened. So that's, I guess this is a drawn out kind of.
Yeah, and I think, but that just shows that you can't do that and I think this just overrides all of that. And number two, there's no such thing as ad content versus regular content. I think that, everything's going to look native to the feed.
Yeah.
Whether you have an ad or whether you have a video, you're going to always have to sponsor that content to reach your audience. I think that the organic, the word organic is going to go away. It's all going to be called sponsored content. I don't even like calling Facebook ads anymore. The word Facebook ads is not going to be here anymore. It's just going to be sponsored content, because everyone has a different objective of what they want with that content. So like if you want to just reach people that you went to an event with, that's going to be sponsored content. Obviously, you're not going to run conversion ads. You just want to get that content in front of a lot of people that you went to an event with. So I think, just change up the methodology of how we think. Facebook's goal is to provide the most relevant content, to the user, whether it's from a brand, whether it's from their friends and family. They want to enhance connections.
Yeah. I mean, I really like your approach there. We talked about it's not really ads anymore. It's all sponsored content around engagements, actions, and things like that. I think it's a really good point. And it kind of changes the way that advertisers need to be thinking about the stuff that they put on Facebook.
Yeah, and it goes back to I had a discussion with a friend, and we talk about how, companies that want to sell products, they're going to go to Amazon now.
Yeah,
they want to. If you want to move a ton of product, you're going to go to Amazon. But if you want to build a brand, you're always going to go to Facebook. Mm-hmm. Facebook is the place where people discover brands. Mm-hmm. It's not a place you go to just sell products. Sell. I mean, they obviously do sell product on Facebook ads. We sell a lot of product on Facebook ads, but the way Facebook's platform will be 2 years from now, in my opinion, will be more people will come here to build a brand, because this is where your message is going to resonate, and you're going to have a targeted set of people that you could speak to in an ad or a message. I think
it's also worth repeating that you'll still be selling lots of product on Facebook in 2 years.
I think it's only going to get better. I think that this change kind of weeds out, a lot of the noise. Remember, Facebook's goal is not to make more money in ads. That's not their goal. Their goal is to continuously enhance the user experience. They're looking at engagement numbers. They're not looking at how much ads per person. They might be, but what they're looking at specifically is how do we increase the engagement? How do we help users of our platform forge better connections moving forward? And I think that this is a change in the newsfeed. I think is going to continuously evolve. I mean, I think we'll probably hear more updates, but I don't think this has any negative impact on the paid acquisition side or the paid social side. If you are an e-commerce brand, I think it's actually going to enhance it, because it's going to take away a lot of the noise, which already encompasses the newsfeed, and is going to increase engagement rates. They want to increase engagement rates, and that's only going to be great for advertisers. Yeah,
these are the positive ripple effects. So if you're an advertiser and you're thinking about this upcoming change, how might you be altering your strategy to best take advantage of kind of the new landscape on Facebook? If I'm trying to get people to buy my product, what am I doing differently?
Remember, you're competing with advertisers that are very sophisticated. Yeah. If you're a brand, whether you're a watch brand, whether you're an apparel brand, cosmetics brand, you're competing with super sophisticated advertisers right now. And I think the future of digital marketing on Facebook is to making your ad look native to the feed. Your ad has to look, it can't look like an ad, because at the end of the day, it's a sponsored post. It's a post that's being sponsored to a specific set of audience. So as you become further in the process, brands are going to have to start creating content that resonates with their audience. Not every piece of content is going to be able to drive a conversion. The piece of content is going to build trust to eventually drive a conversion, whether it's on Facebook or another platform. So the way to think about Facebook, it's the best top-of-funnel discovery platform on earth. Facebook and Instagram. People are going to discover your product or brand on Facebook, but they might consume your product on another platform. They might consume your product on search. They might consume your product on Amazon, or they might consume your product on Facebook. You might get a last click conversion off Facebook, but I always say discovery and intent. Facebook is the best discovery platform, and I think building content that's going to make your brand stand out and allow consumers to discover your product in a simplistic way and resonate, that's what you want to really focus on in your direct response acquisition strategy.
Love that. I mean, that's a very good lesson. I think it's a good takeaway for any advertisers. Steve, do you have any other kind of last thoughts before we kind of sum up here for everybody who's kind of wondering about this upcoming change? Any parting thoughts?
I mean, Instagram's coming. Like if your business model is on Instagram and you're like relying on just influencers to drive, the bottom line. I mean, these changes are being made to Facebook, but eventually they're going to take these learnings that they're learning from Facebook to increase engagement, and they're going to take those learnings and associate them to Instagram. I think that very soon you're going to start seeing, Instagram, really prioritize specific people on your Instagram feed. I think that, you have to, if you do generate most of your revenue from Instagram, start thinking of strategies from a paid acquisition to really engage your audience in a new way, because just posting, people just posting images and links to, the outfits they're wearing, and that's gonna evolve. And I think the landscape on Instagram is the next big disruption, because, Facebook is aiming to really enhance that user experience, because there is a lot of link outs to, questionable products, questionable advertisers, and that's all going to get cleaned up. I mean, they really want to build a transparent platform, and I think they're going to do it. They're one of the best companies in the world.
Awesome. Well, I hope we can. I hope we've shed some light today on these upcoming changes. I know a lot of people are really nervous. Anytime Facebook puts out kind of an announcement that things are going to be changing, people get a little bit skittish. The takeaway is this is going to be an opportunity, not a problem for advertisers.
I think it's going to be a tremendous opportunity. I think that this is going to enhance conversion rates. I think that there's going to be a lot less noise on the newsfeed, a lot less distraction, and I think you're going to start seeing advertisers really, and I say this in the most honest way, I think you're going to start seeing advertisers really start forging closer relationships with their consumers. And
that's a good thing.
Yep.
A very good thing. This has been another episode of the Spend 10K Day podcast. If you have any questions about Facebook ads, e-commerce, or anything else that we've talked about on the podcast, you can always email us, steve@mute6.com. That's STEVE at mute6.com, or me, Stuart at mute6.com, STEWART at mute6.com. We'll see you again soon for more great Facebook ads and e-commerce content.